Good afternoon. Nice to have the pads on out here. We got a chance to play a little bit of live football. We didn't tackle very much, but just a little bit, which for the first day was good. And I thought we got a lot of good work in. I think it's very educational for the younger players or the less experienced players in the program. You put the pads on, the emotional level goes up. There's no doubt about that, and your focus has to be that much stronger. And at times we had that, and at other times we didn't. We had guys jumping off sides on offense and on defense, and they're a little bit over anxious right now, but that's part of it. If you can't harness that, it's tough to play in a competitive environment. So we're certainly going to be in a very competitive environment, and hopefully we can get better at that starting next Tuesday.
Kyle, what do you think of young running backs and receivers? Anybody jump up?
You know, I'm going to withhold being too strong with my comments until I look at the film, but I certainly saw some nice things from P.J. James. I saw some nice things from Desmond Peoples. I saw Ruhan grab a couple footballs today. So I think those guys are moving in the right direction. I think, you know, as we go through this process, it's going to be important at times to get some of those younger players maybe reps with the ones, and that'll do two things. It'll help us to rest, save on at times so we don't take so many plays in a row, but also it gives you an opportunity to really see what the reality is of the situation, because once you get past the ones, I don't know that it's always indicative of what it will be when you put the starters out there.
Kyle, how much will you continue with the distribution of the reps at quarterback the way you have been the first three practices, or are you going to narrow that down?
I think we'll continue with the way we have it right now. I think right now Chase and Gary are taking equal reps, Gary with the one, Chase with the twos. I would like to find more reps for some of the younger guys, but it's hard. You know, right now we're practicing about as much and we're getting about as many reps as we can. So I don't know if we're going to have the ability to do that. And maybe some of those things will happen when we get into the true scrimmage situations. Today was really a practice, so we didn't have that. But next Saturday we'll be in a scrimmage situation, and then hopefully we get the guys behind Gary and Chase, get them a few more.
Will Chase get any first team reps?
But we'll evaluate that as we go through the spring. You know, I think there's usually a place to do that, and I think that's important because even with Chase right now as the second quarterback, those first-team linemen need to hear his voice. They need to hear the rhythm of his cadence because you're only a play away.
You get everything you wanted accomplished the first week, and what's your goal for the second week?
I don't know if I've ever felt like we got everything accomplished that we wanted to. I was hoping you were going to wear a Rutgers hat and not a Dodger hat, but you know, but we're working on it. We're working on every part of the program here at Rutgers. But as we go into week two, I think we really got to get some of these younger players to be able to harness their emotions. You know, and that's what will eliminate some of the pre-snap, the jumping off sides, both sides of the ball, and allow them to play a higher level, which is really what we need.
What does Charlie Noonan bring to this staff, bringing him on as a GA?
Anytime you can bring somebody back into your program that came through your program and they're ready. If you bring them back and they're not ready, I don't know that it matters. But to have Darnell Stapleton and Charlie Noonan be able to come back and be able to point, I can point to them as examples of guys who went through our program and came out on the other side, not just better players, but better people, more disciplined people, harder workers, better workers. There are nothing but positives that come from that. And Charlie, certainly, a lot like Scott Vallone, was one of the guys here that set the standard for toughness in our program.